Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please do subscribe, like, share, and comment.
Finland is on a tight corner as I'm talking to you right now, because many countries, they are doing business with him. And many countries and many European countries, not Africans, because Africans are mumu, are now planning, or rather set to boycott them, or even cancel that bilateral business agreement because of Simon Ekpa and the treatment they are made to the Biafran agitator. Okay, this message is coming from African World Media TV. Don't forget this, our brother who is the chairman and president of Pan-African Forum Limited and Associates, by name Dr. David Yokorocha Masanga. Now he brought this article to us. So please, as you are watching, please kindly drop your opinion in the comment section, because Finland now, they don't begin to blame their so-called Nigerian government. Don't forget that this week Simon Ekpa was supposed to be released, because he have already signed his bail papers and also meet the bail conditions. Then the question there now we're supposed to ask ourselves, why is he not yet out? So the information reaching us here is that Nigerian government increased the money they paid them before to continue holding Simon Ekpa. The same thing that is happening to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's case. These two guys are supposed to be, at least one of them, even not the two, supposed to have freedom this week. Okay, let's say Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's freedom, it had been mandated for 18th of this month. Then what happened to Simon Ekpa, who have fulfilled all the bail conditions, signed the papers, but now we still not hear anything. So it makes me to believe that what I heard this morning is truth, because Nigerian government increased the money they pay to them, or maybe increase the what we call it, the supply of free crude oil to them that is coming from my own land as well. God have mercy. Using my own resources to bribe people to hold me down. It shall never be well with the Nigerian government. Anyway, let us just read the news for reading sake. But Finland is in a very, very tight corner as I'm talking to you now. Alex Tobe, don't regret. So waiting make him go accept this shady deal with Nigerian government. He don't know. When we are warning him that anything Nigerian government cannot do does not exist, he seems not to understand what we are talking about. That anything APC cannot achieve does not exist. I mean, achieving it in a negative way, or not in a positive way. Because everything about APC, everything about Nigerian government is negativity. There's nothing like positivity inside. Okay, let us just read the articles. And according to the Minister of Justice of Finland, there's a message also she sent out here. So we're going to read the message and then we'll come back to discuss more at the comment section of this video. Okay, he said Finland, whose democratic civilization has endured for over 500 years, has sadly resorted to fishing expedition law, arresting and detaining suspects first, then searching for evidence to frame them up. That is Nigerian system. That is what Finland have already adopted, which is very, very bad for their democracy. Okay, this is deeply troubling for an European nation known for hosting reconciliation efforts and preaching dialogue. Sorry. Okay, the message, this was just a short message. Dr. David Yokorocha Masanga, Pan-African Forum President Limited and the Associate, Okay, we are going to read the message from the Minister of Justice in Finland. And according to her, the headline, she titled her message, said, "Detaining must be made easier," says Justice Minister of Justice Mary. Okay, the Attorney General would like to return the so-called overgrazing crime to capture. Overgrazing crime to capture. Please understand all these messages line by line, please, so that we don't miss this thing. We don't miss our target. Okay, it said prisoning must be made easier if there is a serious violent crime behind it, says Attorney Minister Lena Mary. It can't be that because of the legal protection of a violent person, we have to expose ordinary people walking down the street. The current situation is contrary to the general sense of justice. The matter has been in public in recent days when 4 people in Tampere were stabbed off a shopping center. The suspect perpetrated has a plenty of criminal background and has received the latest conviction just a few weeks ago. However, Mare refers to a ruling by the Supreme Court (KKO) in March of 2025 that changed the conditions for detention in Finland. So their conditions have been changed from March of 2025, which they have already hold our Prime Minister before then. Okay, he said in a practice, the suspect in homicide or serious violence may therefore be free to await trial or convictions. They are just trying to read the conditions here. If you got arrested by Finland government and the prosecutor, this is the kind of the justice system they practice in that very particular country. Okay, sometimes we seem to forget that we will protect ordinary people who live their own lives here by the rules, Mary says. Okay, Kokuminten, the Supreme Court decision has been trashed out by ministry working group since early this month. The purpose of the C is to determine whether a mere overgrowing crime such as murder could be reinstated as a condition of imprisonment. Murder can be reinstated as a force of imprisonment. For you to say that Simon Ekpa not supposed to be there, not even for 1 second. They have hold Simon Ekpa before they amended all these things. Then what happens? Why can't they apply it on Simon Ekpa? He's supposed to be at home. The minimum sentence for an overgrowth of a crime is 2 years in prison. In the past, the main rule was that the suspect with probable cause of overgrossing crime remained in custody until the main hearing. The work doesn't seem simple. The Supreme Court based its policy on, among other things, the European Center of Human Rights ruling practice. That is why, according to the C, the working group will examine how the law could be clarified so that the practice of human rights convictions also give as a result. Moving forward, I would not like to take much of your time on this message. Moving forward, he said, okay, it is really like this, that in national law, we can't make it easier to keep a person caught up in the background of a violent crime or a serious sexual assault. The C reflects. I really hope experts find such formulations that can be more imprisoned for violent crimes. The issue of the Biafra agitator Simon Ekpa Njoko is what we are going to look into after the amendment of what would I call it? After the amendments of the law are to be brought to Parliament at the beginning of 2026. Although there is no record of the issue in the government program, Mary believes the government parties have a common will to do so. So they are trying to amend their what do they call it? Their amendment of a law. They brought it to the Parliament by 2026, and they are now trying to tell us that Simon Ekpa have to be caged until 2026. The answer is no. But let us see what happens in the coming week. As this week have failed, maybe by next week we'll have a different news, a different background, and also a different perspective on how to trash out all these things. Anyway, moving forward now, look at what our people says in the comment section of this video. Rotundo Mayara said, Europeans have never been civilized. Hence, Africans had to liberate themselves from these criminals just 40 years ago. We are still suffering their tyranny now. Okay, African World Media TV said, true, they claim to have been civilized, but operate like village calicos. Oh, sorrow, agony and pain. Nkiru Kobena said, Finland is a part of and parcel of Europeans' uncivilized and a corrupt society. Okay, he said, they are all liars and very corrupt. However, they will never go unpunished. The most important thing is that we will never forgive them for nor forget. I urge honest African patriots to leave African Union. Yes, African Union is nonsense. It's dead on arrival, including the so-called ECOWAS. The earlier they stopped all this nonsense they call African Union and the ECOWAS, the better, because they never represent interests of any country at all. Okay, Winterman said Finland's integrity has been mowed down by Nigeria. You see, they underestimated Nigeria's ability to corrupt any system or government that do not guard her laws and holds firm to justice and equity. Because of the contract, Finland has let Nigeria trample on their integrity. Did they have integrity before? That is the question. Did they ever have any integrity? All these people are pretending, my dear. Forget about that. My life without Christ is shattered. Okay, Proverbs 14:34 said, King James Bible, righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. Amplified Bible, uprightness and right standing with God, moral and spiritual rectitude in every area and relation. Elevate a nation, but sin is a reproach to any nation. Are you sabi? Akachukwu said, at Alok stop multi-retrace his step in dangling with the lives of innocent people in exchange for mineral resources. Finland must trade with caution. Thank you for what you do, Dr. Masanga. Oshomole Nyakemiye. Power corrupts and absolutely power corrupts absolutely. Nigeria is in charge. Chidimma Ugoife said, every effort to make the world a better place will be rewarded by God, even to your 7th generation. Keep up this good work. Okay, talking to Dr. Masanga. Clinton said, bro, the thing is worrisome. Muhammad said, it is very, very big shame to the country called Finland. They have sold their reputation. In fact, they have rubbed it on the mud. Judgment said, if Africans had arrested Europeans who invaded Africa and charged them for terrorism, we will not be in this mess today. Of course, yes. They invaded our land. That is invasion of our land, invasion of our privacy. They destroyed our culture and brought us their own culture. That was why you see where we are today. OC one said, the Europeans never knew humanity. All our pretentious shows. They got all they have through violence and subjugation. They had no history of a democracy. They were once killing themselves, hatred everywhere, before focusing on Africa. God sent evidence of corrupt nation. That is what we are seeing today.